Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first session on Tableau with me, Abidunisa Begum. Now, today's session is going to be all about the introduction to Tableau. If you do not know anything about it, I'll be giving you a brief introduction to it. My name is Abidunisa Begum. I'm a technical trainer. I give trainings on R, Python, and Tableau. So, R and Python for data science specifically. The agenda is really simple. I'm going to talk to you about the introduction. What is Tableau and how does it work? What are the different products or types and everything involved in Tableau? What are its disadvantages and advantages and what are the applications? So, okay, Tableau was first introduced in 2003 and it was an American interactive data visualization software company by these people, Christian Chabot, Pat Hanrahan, and Crystal. And this was in California. So it is a business intelligence tool. It helps to visualize the data or, presenting the data in the form of dashboards and worksheets. So if you're somebody working in the, sales, so you can understand this better because you have your KPI dashboards and all. So all those you can create using Tableau. It's the most powerful and also the fastest growing data visualization tool. So you will not only create these dashboards and worksheets, you will also create several stories using Tableau. So you can just include your dashboards and worksheets all together, and you want to prepare a presentation or a report, so Tableau will definitely come in handy. And the best features is that you can blend your data in Tableau. You can do a real time analysis and also collaboration of your data using Tableau, about which working off Tableau and all will be definitely going through in our further sessions. Now, why are we even using Tableau? So it's definitely fast and easy to use. Now, why do I say that? When you are creating your worksheets or these dashboards and all, you don't require any knowledge on coding. This Tableau, it uses the technology of just drag and drop. So that is the best part. Now you can create interactive and compelling dashboards. So it's not just looking at the dashboards, but suppose if you want to look at the data of a particular month, so you can definitely you select that using your dashboards, right? So the same thing, you can create those interactive dashboards using Tableau. You can have access to multiple database, and when I say multiple database, it includes SQL, it includes Hadoop. It is compatible with all of these and Excel, and you can also use all the data that you have, even if it is from the server or even if it is on your system. Now, what is Gartner? Gartner is basically a company, which qualifies different softwares, and Gartner has qualified Tableau as the best BI tool. Okay, so that is one reason why you should be using Tableau or give it a try. Now, like everything, Tableau also has its own pros and cons. So now, first, let's talk about the pros, the advantages. It has perfect graphic and visualization capabilities. It can be fully integrated with support for R and Python. So you are creating your data science project, or you're working on your data science project using R and Python, and you want to visualize it. So what do? You can use Tableau for that. So definitely you can use R and Python for the visualization, but then using Tableau, you can create better, compelling visualizations. So that is a plus point here. Tableau is really compatible with robust platforms like Azure, AWS. So these are all cloud computing platforms, right? So it is compatible with all of them. You can connect to any data repository starting from MS Excel to Hadoop cluster, like I told you before. It has 100 GB of data storage and then definitely gets updated. Now, what are the disadvantages? So, license cost of acquisition is quite high comparatively. We will talk about this point in our next, I mean, in the same session, or but we'll be talking about the different Tableau products, and the license cost and all varies based upon the product that you are using. And like every other tool, when you are trying to learn Tableau, there are basic knowledge of certain things that you require. Like you should have knowledge on data, on SQL. So yeah, there is some functionalities that require technical expertise on SQL. So that is the reason you need to, just like everything, whenever you're trying to learn anything, you would definitely go through some basic points, right? So that is what you need to do. Not really a disadvantage, but then you need to just learn that. Now, what are the applications? Tableau Now, I'm sure you must have understood. We are creating dashboards, visualizations, worksheets. All these are the applications of Tableau. But now, what are different companies using it for? So these are some examples, and you can find more on Tableau's website directly. So Dubai Airport, they are using Tableau to identify new revenue streams and also maintaining a clockwork operation. That's one thing. Then you have NYC Health Plus Hospitals. They are they draw on data fluency to make life-saving decisions during the New York City COVID-19 surge. So there are other companies who are tracking student wellness and preparedness during COVID-19 to make sure education reaches, right? So several other applications are also there, so you can just go through the Tableau website. Now coming to Tableau products. So there is Tableau Prep, Tableau Desktop, Tableau Server, Tableau Reader, Tableau Online, and Tableau Public. We will talk about each of them in detail in our next session. But before that, what are the basic differences? Why am I talking about these? So if you remember, I just told you about the first disadvantage here. License cost of acquisition is quite high comparatively. Now, what do I mean by that? Here we have Tableau Public and Tableau Reader, which are free to use, and all. Yeah, Tableau Public and Tableau Reader, these are free to use. So you can directly download it from the Tableau website and start using it. Now, Tableau Desktop, Tableau Server, Tableau Online, Tableau Prep, they all require to be paid for. So that is where the license cost will be quite high. But then, when you start working for it, you'll definitely find it worth. Now, Tableau Public, what is the difference between them? Why are we paying for Tableau Desktop and why are we not paying for Tableau Public? So this Tableau Desktop, Server, Online, they all come as a package. Tableau Public is something different. So Tableau Public, you will be creating all your dashboards, and if you are a student or if you are a teacher, you can definitely use Tableau Public to teach. You can definitely use Tableau Public to learn. And whatever visualizations or reports you create using Tableau Public, they will be directly posted on Tableau community. You won't be able to download it on your system. So that is one thing with Tableau Public. Or you cannot save it. Probably even if you download the visualization, yes you can, but then you cannot save it. It will be available for public on the Tableau community, so that will not be a private thing. So if you are working for a private firm, you will require to save it, right? You cannot just post it on the community. That is the reason we have to use Tableau Desktop here. Tableau Desktop, Server, Online, Prep, they all go hand in hand. You will be creating your visualizations and you will be posting it on a Tableau server, so that this gets and then you also have Tableau Online, which works on the cloud. So that is how you will be what do you say, sharing your visualizations to the managers or your clients or whatsoever. Tableau Prep is something. This is a new product basically, and it is for preparing before you go for a final visualization. Before probably giving a final report, Tableau Prep is used just to practice. Now, Tableau Reader is where you will be only be able to look at the visualization. So if I share the visualization with you, you will be reading the dashboard or the visualization or the report using Tableau Reader. You cannot do anything much with that. Thank you very much for being with me throughout this session. I hope you have learned and you are able to understand what is Tableau. And even before that, let's just have a recap of what all we learned. So we learned what is Tableau. We have understood advantages, disadvantages. We now know what are the different Tableau products and we know its applications. So I hope you are through with this. So thank you very much for being with me throughout this session. Happy learning till the next session.